the freshly cleaned stream. Yesterday we pulled out a huge snapping turtle, and the day before that, on Friday, when I was with the Deprum crew, we found 2 more. We also saw this morning, which I got some pictures of, a huge bullfrog, which we will classify as our mascot, who is still yet to be named. So if you haven't voted yet, please go and follow the link on one of the emails that we sent out about voting on the mascot names. Put in your input, and also check out our website, which will be updated, I'm sure, shortly, from our wonderful web mistress, Miss Christy Callender, who's a graphic artist and has designed our website as well as doing the upkeep on it. And she was also here all day long with her husband, working very hard to help clean up the stream. So thank you, Miss Christy Callender, for all your help. Our website is bread-and-cheese-creek.com. So once again, our website is bread-and-cheese-creek.com. So this bank next to us, and you'll see some pictures of it, was absolutely totally littered with tools and industrial parts. It looked like HVAC pieces, compressor pieces, machinery pieces, you name it. Garden hose, thick, 1-inch thick metal cabling. And the volunteers had to labor several hours on this bank as well. It almost looked like at one point in time there may have been a workshop up there that fell down. I'm not entirely sure, but kudos to everybody who worked so hard on cleaning that up. We've come up to a section right now that shows a huge amount of the erosion which is being caused in Bread and Cheese Creek, and a lot of that is because both Merritt Boulevard, Merritt Manor Shopping Center, North Point Road, most of the streets in the Gray Manor section, as well as the Berkshire section, all drain unchecked into Bread and Cheese Creek, which causes during storms for it to rise to a huge level, the water to move at extremely swift pace. And not only does that cause a lot of the trash to filter down from the parking lots and the roadways, but it also causes the water to rise and to move at such a rate that it just carves out the bank. That is causing a lot of damage, not only to people's property, but it's also losing huge amounts of sediment down the creek to down Bread and Cheese Creek to Back River, which is a problem down there as well, which is one of the reasons why they have to do constant dredging, is because of creeks like this that have the huge amounts of sediment floating down them because of erosion. Now, if we could manage to change the way that this stuff drains, it would make life better for everyone. But unfortunately, these roadways and shopping centers are all grandfathered, so it's completely legal for their trash to flow directly into Bread and Cheese Creek, as well as other Maryland tributaries of Bread and Cheese Creek, other Maryland tributaries of Back River, as well as the Chesapeake Bay. As we continue on here, you can see our little female duck up ahead. It was funny, the whole way up the creek when we were picking up trash, my wife and I, she was ahead of us, and she'd fly and swim and walk and fly and swim and walk to stay ahead of us, and now she seems to be doing the same thing on the way back. It's, a lot of these property owners, as I said, were extremely grateful. They gave us access to their yards. They helped out. Because you could see, who would not want to have a little beautiful stream running through their backyard? That's just not, instead of one that's full of trash and debris. And it's not just for the property owners, but it's also for anybody along Chesapeake Bay or Back River who reaps the reward of those communities, because the trash that flows down eventually goes into the creek. Goes from Bread and Cheese Creek into Back River, and from Back River into the Chesapeake Bay. The sooner we could stop the trash, the less damage it can be done. If we could stop people from dumping or littering, that's the best. If we could stop the trash on the streets and the parking lots before it gets into the waterways, that's second best. If we could stop the trash while it's in the small tributaries and creeks, that's great. If we could stop the trash before it gets into Back River, that's great. And it's still good if we could stop it from getting into the Chesapeake Bay. But the sooner that we could stop it, the better. Like I said, not just for residents, but anybody who enjoys the seafood that comes from the Chesapeake Bay. And you see there's a lot of places like this where there's dead woods and vines. We trimmed away as much of that as possible, but hauling all this out to the street to be picked up by Baltimore County is an unsurmountable task. And our volunteers worked our tail off to get the trash and everything, and to bring a huge amount of wood. And I'll show you the pictures of the wood piles that we removed that'll be posted on Flickr. But you can only ask so much of volunteers and the manpower. It's, if we had 101 volunteers. If we had 201 volunteers, we could do better. If we did 301 volunteers, if we had 1,000 volunteers. But every little bit helps. Sometimes you get disheartened because no matter how much you clean, there's still another Coke bottle, there's still another plastic bag, there's still another shopping cart. But every little piece that we take out helps. And that's what our goal is. Every little piece. So if you're watching this video, thank you. If you participated in the cleanup last year in September or this year in April, thank you. If you did both, thank you, thank you. If you haven't yet participated in the cleanup, we urge you to. We are extremely grateful for all the help we get. Whether you come out for an hour, whether you come out all day, you helped us out. We've had people say, hey, I'm taking my child to a soccer game. While his soccer game's on, I can help you. As soon as he calls me, I gotta go. We're like, fantastic, thank you. And then we have people who show up at 6 o'clock in the morning to help set up. They work with registration, they stay, they help with the cleanup, and they leave at 6 o'clock at night. And thank you for them too. But everybody is a help. And as you can see, all these little fish, I don't know how good you can see it, and they thank you too. So once again, this is John Long from Clean Bread and Cheese Creek, thanking all the volunteers, all the sponsors, all the partners. We really appreciate you. You can see how much more beautiful this section of the creek is now. If you have any questions at all, please contact me. You can contact me through our website, which is probably the easiest way, at, one more time, bread-and-cheese-creek.com, and I'd be glad to hear from you. And once again, thank you everyone for all your help and hard work. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.